everybody, welcome to a lovely sunny afternoon at Ardgarten, which is in the bottom of Glencroe, I think it is, nestled at the bottom of Glencroe. And behind me we have Ben Arthur, more commonly known in local circles as the Cobbler. And we're going to do a lovely wee riverside trail today, so got some interesting facts for you as well. So the yak's back. Yay! So let's go. Now we're at the start of the Riverside Trail, but as a wee point of interest, there's another wee notice here, which seems to be part of another long distance path that I hadn't heard of before, which is the Loch Long in Cowlway. Have you heard of that?
No.
Had you heard of that?
No, but that's pretty cool.
Cool, not cool, cool. Anyway.
It's a play on words.
Okay, let's go.
I could just go with Just idly talking amongst ourselves. Okay. Well, now we're no longer idly talking amongst ourselves, we're idly talking amongst ourselves, but it's like we're in a wire because we're mic'd up. Is that not right?
Yeah, but if the machine's not on, then it won't pick us up. I mean,
The machine.
it's a machine.
Well, I'll have you know that the machine is on right now.
Okay, well, the bear will just need to cut it out with his wonderfully professional editing skills.
Why will we need to cut this out? This is raw, unfiltered reality television.
What do we thought? We're on a nice walk. You give me too much work.
I know.
What you like? Oh, nobody heard that.
Mm-hmm. The Cobbler bus stop.
What sort of
You
bus?
can get a bus up at Cobbler.
We found this sign that seems to identify the Cobbler bus stop as being right there, but I have a problem with that. How can there be a Cobbler bus stop? Because that means that you need to get a bus up the Cobbler from the Cobbler bus stop, and I don't know of any buses that have been made ever in history that can, that be capable of driving up the Cobbler. Where's the bus stop on top of the Cobbler after you get off the bus?
Maybe it takes you to the start of the Cobbler Trail.
I would think that probably makes more sense as gets you to the bottom of the Cobbler, but not actually up the Cobbler.
That's shite. I thought it would be a cheat code or something.
If you're going to come and do this trail, all of the markers are going to be marked in red so that you know that that's the trail you're meant to be on. So as long as you stick to the red markers, you should be okay.
There's been an issue.
I know it's wearing away.
There's a bit
There's
of
some
blue on.
blue underneath, I know, but it should still be able to see the reds enough to make sure that you're on the right track. This Riverside Trail is actually part of the whole Ardgarten estate, which dates back to medieval times. It's about 500 years old, and
We're having a donner, not a race. 500 years old.
500 years old. And again, with us being in Scotland, it was part of the clan grounds, estates, whatever.
Lands.
Lands, yeah. And this particular one was owned by Clan Campbell. His chieftain today, even now, is the Duke of Argyll, the 11th Duke of Argyll, if I believe so. And it was theirs right up until 1880s, I think it was. And then it was sold. And then it was sold to the Youth Hostel Association in between. Changed hands a lot of times anyway. And then I think it was 1939 the Youth Hostel Association acquired it and and changed Ardgarten House, which was obviously the seat, into a youth hostel here.
Right.
Then it was a youth hostel for 70 years, right up until like 2001. And then it fell into disrepair, and it was empty, and it was damp, and it was wet. And in 2004, Loch Long Holidays acquired it, and they built a hotel. They've built log cabins, and they have
Oof. Starting to get away from me again. We're donering.
Yes, we're done. Log cabins, the holiday thingy, it's full, and obviously the many walks that you can still go on in the estate. And so that's where we are today, Ardgarten.
Oh, these are fairy houses.
Eliza, what do you think? I thought that looked like a hedgehog.
Fairy gaffs. Or for the uninitiated. Fairy houses.
Right. Oh, look, I can see a bench.
Can you?
Click, click, let's go to a seat. My favourite. What's your feet?
This would be easier if we could fly. Speaking of, by the way, we have more to tell you about what the unicorn was just, kind of getting to back there. More about the clan.
As you and I both know, due to the feudal system that the clans all had, it wasn't just Clan Campbell that was active in this area. Clan McFarlane were also active in this area doing, let's guess what? Can you guess yet?
Presumably, not very nice things related to livestock.
Yes, sheep rustling in particular. So yes, obviously clans used to raid each other, and also very, very frequently. Back in the 1800s, before the estate changed hands. So yes, it has a long history of sheep rustling and killing and other kind of nasty things. So yeah.
Here's a question for the unicorn. Did the Campbells invent that soup? Campbell's soup?
I have no idea.
Well, their name wouldn't be on it if one of them didn't, so one of them probably invented it.
They must be descendants of Clan Campbell. I mean, but Clan Campbell sort of like basically goes from here all the way up to the Highlands.
Oh, well,
I mean, it's
everyone knows that if you have the surname, then you're part of the hereditary heraldry of that clan. Speaking of clans, what were the other clans doing at that time?
probably much the same. We're talking about, 1700s and 1800s. We've covered it in a lot of our other videos. Mainly sort of like fighting amongst themselves and wrestling.
The unicorn's forgotten that we were all pretentious nobles back then.
Yeah, well, you can explain that part. I don't really know much
That's
about
for
that.
another time, but yes, our clan was a noble clan in that time. By the way, for those whom it may concern, there is a very aptly placed warning inscribed into this stump that says no swimming in big block capitals. And I feel that's very fortunate really, because for a second there I was thinking that I might want to get down to my briefs and get in that freezing cold water. with rocks all over it.
No clothes on.
Yeah.
And then you would be a bear.
Bear.
A bear.
A bear. Drumming in this bench set vibration. Okay.
That was a nice view.
It's
What
alright.
can the bum though?
Just like that.
Shoot.
Now we must buckle on.
Yes.
It's very intense, this.
I'm glad it's not any more intense.
Yes, good for your leg.
Yes. Have a bit of
Mud!
These are the kind of you to get your boots on. What he's like. Boots.
Yep, you brought your boots.
I bet my boots.
Trust the pretentious unicorn to be the pretentious one.
Is that your house over there, Unicorn?
Is that your house over there?
No, that's not my house.
I wish it was your house. It's a very nice house.
Had it been your house, we could have gone for tea.
I know.
I know. Can you imagine that? A wee bit of scran, as they say in the lowlands.
Yeah.
Probably say that in the highlands as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let it be known that when you see a sign that says something's unsafe, it's generally not advisable to walk up to it, but don't worry, we're professionals. Well, one can only imagine why that's unsafe. I mean, look at it. Well, I mean,
Does
you
anybody stay in that house?
I don't think he.
No, it's, well empty. In fact, the roof's caving in a little bit near the chimney. No, the bridge is definitely unsafe. Yeah. It's doesn't look very. I wouldn't walk across it.
Is it unsafer than the one at the Aber right away that we crossed that was unsafe?
Nah, that was pretty dodgy, but we're professionals, it's fine.
Yes. Don't do this at home.
Well, I don't think you should do that at home either.
Don't do that at home either.
I'm sure it still could be nice living there in future because the house seems, you could probably save that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hitchhike in today's economy. And when I say economy, what I really mean is social climate because it's dodgy.
There you go, Yag wasn't kidding.
Yeah, it literally is the road.
I think this must be the only trail that we have been on that actually straddles
A road.
runs parallel with a road.
I know.
No. When we were at Glenfinglas, the route along the bottom is opposite the road as well.
Oh.
Can't remember what colour that was. We've done so many of them along there, but it was nice.
Roads are usually grey.
Yes, but the one don't.
Really fell over.
Yeah, backwards bear again.
They do say that the cameraman never dies, but I think the bear nearly did.
Nearly fell over, but
You're about to again.
Careful.
that's good. I thought
I must have caught them.
I'm not guilty this time. I don't have hiccups. No one here has hiccups.
That's not how it works. They're not contagious.
Isn't that pretty?
Strangely, this place reminds me of the RSPB in a way.
Sun comes through the trees on a lovely winter's afternoon, standing by a lovely river. By listening to the sound of the traffic.
Shrooms. Fungi
Oh yeah, fungi.
are quite fun.
not kind of you.
No idea.
No, they're the kind that grow on trees.
Mhm.
And the kind that, if we weren't filming right now, Unicorn would have immediately went to touch like the last time she saw one hanging out a log.
Look at that shows one. marker, red marker.
Red marker, red marker. We're admiring the moss. 'Cause it's
We were admiring the moss.
moths.
Moss. Emos.
Oh, okay. Is it sphagnum?
Sphagnum? Yeah, it probably was sphagnum.
Or sphagnum, yes.
I don't know what the wee green kind of tendrily things were though.
Flowers? Did you not know that moss flowers?
No. Jack's favourite.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that, a wee hike.
A fortification that someone
Quite
has
well
just
built,
built.
actually, isn't it? So,
That's been done a little while ago, but it's quite well done.
it's quite well done. Very well done.
I'm not going in that one either. I'm too big.
That's a hobbit's house.
A hobbit. I'm a hobbit. I'm a hobbit unicorn.
You tell me this is old man's beard.
Well, it is right now.
Unicorn. Unicorn beard.
Oh well.
You were mentioning the forestry and stuff up in the hill there. There was, do you remember I showed you the big route around the outside of the peninsula? It's about 21-ish miles.
Allow 6 hours just to
Just
cycle
for
it.
a cycle. Well, on Saturday past, they had an Ardgarten trail race in which there were something like 130 runners.
Right.
And they started off from the car park that we started off, and they took the route there and they went over, the rest of me thankful, down into Loch Head. But on the way back, they had to climb up into the forest, which is the way up there, climb up that hill and then make their way back down to the rest of the thankful and then down the hill back to the finish point again. So can you imagine? And that was them running.
The only part of that I got is that they can't have had much fun.
I don't know. I think there was two water stations. I think if it not been raining, if it wasn't raining, I think it might have actually been quite nice.
Who knows? I'm not an athlete.
No. What do you think, Bear?
Yes, I think it would have been enjoyable. I don't really go running these days.
These days.
These days, I should go this side because I'm deaf. You're better on this side.
The thing is, I might start a new channel. We'll call it Bear Fitness, where you get fit in the mood.
Bear fitness.
Bear Fitness.
You see how long it's taken for the unicorn to get bothered by this? She doesn't care. She's simple. Could do this for hours, she wouldn't say anything.
I think I'll have a wee drink of water.
We've arrived at yet another heraldry bench.
Would the yak be kind enough to pass me some water?
No, I'm kidding, yes.
Well, from what I can see after this, as we head away, we're going to be starting in Ardgarten.
Behind me, you can see a fantastic view of the cobble. Isn't it just majestic? I think it is anyway. I don't know what anybody else thinks.
We've made it halfway.
Yes, we did. Hooray, hooray. We made it. There's an old red telephone that looks like.
I can see. Right, it's got a beef out in it. Oh no, it doesn't.
Ardgarten cabins.
It is a phone box.
Nothing in it.
Who's going in? Into the old mouldy box.
Ah, no. Forest Holidays, Ardgarten cabin.
Oh, they've transformed it into a sign.
I can get in. Cool.
Oh my god, the joints are stiff on that.
In you go.
Okay.
Oh, the only thing missing is the circular dialer, the old-fashioned dialer.
It's got a kind of
A digital push button one, yes. No,
it's a phone box. Don't know how you fit billions of people in one of these right now.
When we were young, we managed to fit 13 in.
I don't know how you did that. So it's a BT payphone they've got in it.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Smells quite old in there.
Once you come at the end of the trail on this side, after you finish looking at the old phone box, come back over here. This side of the trail starts here, so we go down this hill and continue around. So,
unless you're a sour, bitter old fat who didn't want to look at the phone box, you've seen that many in your lifetime. Wow, this bridge is a little bit rickety, isn't it? I don't like how I can actually physically feel it beneath me. Jittering as we go, but it's okay.
The act of like rickety bridges, the act.
It's supported by steel, so who cares?
Oh, bad unicorn sometimes to stand and vent on. There you go.
How does that work?
I don't know.
You're going to love this. I don't think that's meant to be like that.
We can't get the gate open there. We can't get the gate open.
I'll show you what actually happened. Look. There it is. There we go.
Bear's trying to run away again. Maybe go this way.
There.
Oh, there he's there.
I'm never fiddling with the kind of gate that was on that bridge ever again.
I had no idea what was going on.
It was a hook and it had a locking mechanism, but the gate itself is lifted into position. So when you let it loose, it just kind of hangs there. But the point is that it's like the hook's here and the mechanism's here, and you have to pull it up and wiggle it, but it's stiff. And it's ridiculously impossible to figure out after until you brute force it a little bit like I did. I had to actually use my brain a little bit.
Why does it have a gate on it anyway?
I know it's a fridge.
What is the point?
There you are, unicorn. Remember that stuff on the tree?
Oh yeah. It's like it's tutu.
Tutu's up.
Yeah.
What's the name of that place up the back of St. Peter's Seminary?
It's Kilmahue.
That was Kilmahue, that's right. So it was unicorn. Our video on Kilmahue.
That we couldn't find.
Why would I want to kill your Hugh? Hugh's really important. It's like kill my hog. I don't want to kill anyone's hog.
Look at this. It's like, see if you stand them from the side, it looks like
a trunk.
No, it's like a face with a crooked nose.
It looks like an elephant's trunk has sprung itself from some sort of bizarre tree, man.
Yeah. And it's got like a crooked thing hanging it.
I really need to come and investigate now because really I'm just so fascinated by this.
Let me pick his nose for him.
I know, pick it.
There you go. Feels better now.
Did you pick its nose?
Yes.
Good. Well, we seem to have come on to a bit of the roadside. And you can come in this direction from the start. And of course the wee bridge at the start.
Couldn't help but notice the ruins of this, moderately long house that might have been, considering the slits in that, some sort of medieval, cottagey, caverny, I don't know. It was a building.
Yeah, come.
Why? The door's right there. Okay.
I know, but just look at the pattern of these. Sort of like there's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they're arrow slits.
Arrow slits?
Yes.
There you go. Arrow slits. Would that have been for the soldiers during the 17th and 1800s? That sort of like, this was maybe like a checkpoint.
Nobody's home.
Nobody's home.
Possibly.
Are you thinking checkpoint for going into the estate in its heyday?
Yeah, aye. Where there would have probably have been
I can foresee that being a possibility, maybe.
Soldiers.
At one point there was another floor.
It's just sort of like,
What unicorn?
anytime we see narrow windows like this, it's usually as the access arrow slits.
Quite interesting. Underwards we go.
Onwards. Back to the past.
I want to see what's in the windows first.
No beer.
I know, I'm saying somebody's drew a smiley
Uh,
or something. It's in really good condition. Aye. More in for a couple.
It's black and I can't see a thing.
Et voila, we're at the other side of the abandoned, unsafe bridge. It's dodgy. Next to the dodgy, abandoned,
Dodgy.
unsafe looking house.
Dodgy.
see what?
I can see why it's unsafe. Look at it.
See, somebody's made their own bridge over the thing. See it there? There, right there.
I think it would be more
Fallen
accurate
tree.
to say that nature made its own bridge. We've made it to the forestry road. And you can always tell it's a forestry road because it's reeking of pine every time you start walking up to it. Thankfully it's winter, so we won't get the usual attack of clegs that you get with pine trees, but
Clegs. Ugh, hate clegs.
for those of you who don't know what a cleg is, that's a horsefly.
Yeah, very
They hurt.
nasty. They hurt.
A lot.
Yes.
When they bite.
When you
Yes. They normally do it to horses, but for some reason they like us as well. So they're horseflies.
All right. Behind me, as I mentioned at the beginning, when we were standing in the car park, there's a cycle trail that goes right around the outside of the peninsula. You can do it either way. And you come this way from the car park, take this road, and that'll take you onto the anti-clockwise way, I would imagine. And there, down there, is one of the benches that we sat at on the other side of the wee barn.
Lots of chopped down bits of pine in that, but at least it smells great.
If you've never been in a pine forest, I suggest you come and have a walk in one.
Oxygen's quite good for me. And so is the cold, unless you're a Roman invading Scotland.
You're looking up for an absolutely gorgeous view of Ben Arthur again.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Just think, at one point one of Scotland's mountains used to be higher than Everest.
Yeah.
Mm.
An interesting thing about Ben Arthur is Yak's been up in the corner and I haven't. And what is the rock at the top, Yak?
Rocks.
Rocks. What else?
Pinnacle.
A half decent view that I didn't get to see because my company wasn't keen. Oh. Still a nice walk, but
Probably not keener.
going out in the pinnacle. We have returned to the place from whence we came in a manner similar to which my arms are rotating in the erratic windmill that I'm currently doing.
In other words. So, well, that was a lovely wee trail. I enjoyed it.